I'm going to let you all in on a little secret about playing defense in basketball. It really helps if your opponent misses shots. My name is Adam Green, and that's the kind of in-depth analysis you'll find right here on CatScan. You're welcome. Arizona's recent road trip was a perfect example of what happens when one team makes shots and the other does not. Thursday in Boulder, the Cats missed plenty of open looks on the way to shooting 42.3%, while their opponents repeatedly buried difficult shots en route to shooting 50%. The result was a loss for Arizona, and that should not be a surprise. Then, a few days later, Arizona made 47.2% of its shots while holding Utah to 39.6% shooting. The Utes missed their fair share of good looks, especially in the first half, and once those shots started to fall, the game got close. Funny how that works. Of course, it helped that the Wildcats seemed content to just stand back and shoot threes against Utah's zone defense, which they made at a 27% clip. Mark Lyons was the biggest defender, hitting at just 1 of 9 attempts, but he was 5 for 5 on non-threes, and his drives to the bucket helped Arizona get the win, and, maybe, taught Lyons a valuable lesson. You know, because a fifth-year senior should still be learning lessons like that. Anyway, back to the defense. Now, I'm not saying Arizona's defense against Utah was not better than it was against Colorado, because it was. What I am saying is that the difference between a good defensive performance and a bad defensive performance may be as simple as which team makes its shots, which, as we all know, the Wildcats haven't done. The now 12th ranked Cats are shooting just 42.5% from the field in Pac-12 play, including a lousy 32.4% mark from three. Their opponents are hitting on just 42.6% of shots, but 37.7% of their threes. So no one's really making their shots these days. Anyway, Cats are 21-4 overall and 9-4 in the Pac-12, so it's not as if they've completely fallen apart. However, if you want to know why they're struggling, the answer is as simple as saying they're not making shots, and that has to change. And what better team is there for Arizona to find a shot against than the same Washington team that held the Wildcats at 35.1% shooting less than a month ago? The game may have set basketball back a few decades, but the Cats won and may have put the Huskies to bed in the process. Washington has lost 3 of 5 since that game and is very much on the wrong side of the tournament bubble. But the Huskies still have C.J. Wilcox, who Nick Johnson shut down in the first meeting, along with a host of other quality players. They're very capable of beating the Wildcats, and they're desperate for a win. After that, the Cats will take on a Washington State team that has been, well, terrible. They've lost 6 straight, and that number is likely to be 7 by the time they get to the Old Pueblo. And assuming that's the case, it better be 8 when they leave town. The saving grace in Arizona's season is that while they may not have had a great win in a while, they've done a good job avoiding bad losses. And Washington State would be a bad, bad loss. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of CatScan. For more on Arizona, I encourage you to listen to Bearing Down with Adam and Jarrett, and I beseech you to follow me on Twitter @TheAdamGreen. Thanks for watching. We'll do this again next week, right here on ArizonaSports.com.